It's finals day here at the Usher Cup World Club Challenge. A nice grey sky greeting us this morning. We don't mind it at all. It's brought the swell with it. Ronnie Blakey joined by Vaughan Deadly from Ain't That Swell. And Vaughan, great to have you here, mate. The anticipation is so high this morning. The teams are buzzing. We know it's all going to go down this afternoon. But what about the waves that have greeted us here today?
Ew, frothing, man. We have had a dismal, tranquil summer.
Oh, there you go.
It's been kind of nice to relax and not be stressing out about where you're going to get cone, get your pits. But this morning we've turned up, and this is really our first, decent swell of the year. 2025 has finally fired, and just in time for the World Cup Challenge finals. So frothing. This is going to be an unreal day, because when the teams pack their bags from wherever they've come from, whether they're, it's just down the road at Lennox or Coffs, or from as far afield as Kauai and the Space Coast on the east coast of the States, this is what they were dreaming of, Ron. Big, thick, girthy, spitting dragons behind the rocket snapper. It is on skis today, bruh.
It sure is, yeah. It's kind of felt like, that the whole comp has just been a dog waiting for its meal. like its owners opened the can and the meat's just slowly falling out of the can. Today it has dropped into the bowl, and we're gonna rip into it.
It's just sitting there, looking at you with these sad, desperate eyes, watching, waiting, tail not even wagging, and then finally.
Yeah, watching the pal slip out of the can.
Watch them gorge on it. Watch them gorge.
They are pumping. Ran into Sophie McCulloch. Good to see her back ripping yesterday. This morning we walked the promenade together, and she was really excited. There hasn't been a whole lot of swell. Basically, Bugs is calling there hasn't been a good wave here since August. There's been, as I said,
at that.
There he is.
It's him.
Yeah.
Wow. Fit. Healthy. And swell. Stoked.
The bull.
Yeah.
But, there just hasn't been a wave to speak of. So, it's been teasing us these first 2 days of the event window. Today, it's all out.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
Snappers has been lifting its skirt a little bit for us, but it is going to be a really fun day today.
Yeah, it's putting on a show today, Ron.
It's going to be awesome. Big heats coming up. We know that we have 2 sections unfolding. We've got the Snapper Rock section, which is for those teams that just keep moving through the rounds, keep getting those 1 and 2 finishes in those 4-team heats. And for everyone else that is still surviving, they're hanging in there in that froggy side of the draw. So we've kind of, it's a repechage. So you've got two sections of this event that are going to come together. Big changes this year, though. We've given the individual component the flick.
Good.
We see so much.
Kidding me?
We see so much individual performance throughout the year, throughout the competitive season. And I think Bugs made the call last year that the excitement, the buzz around the team's event, just what it meant to North Narrabeen to steal that title, even though they weren't ultimate champions last year, it sort of felt like they did win the event. So the call has been made to pivot there. And, we're going to be crowning our champs based on a champion team performance.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, the team format, it does feel a little bit redundant to have an individual sort of section there to win seeding points. Who cares about the individual, mate? That's not what club surfing's about. Like, we all know that, the glory of these events is surfing for something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And surfing can be a selfish pursuit. I heard Katrina Petroni talking about it yesterday. And it's not about that here, man. And I think to everyone who's tuning in from overseas, they're kind of, I guess Boardriders culture is pretty new to a lot of these nations, but in Australia, it's the great leveler. You have world champs who were bred in these systems come home from lifting up the trophy. They might, like Parko might have won it at Pipeline. He gets home with his silverware. He goes in the club comp and his nephew beats him, or his cousin beats him. It's like, it's the great leveler. And so when you do pull on the jersey for your club, you understand that it's not just about you anymore. It's about doing it for your team, your community, your state, your country, your planet. Your planet. Let's go there. There could be a future. I don't know, depending on what side of that conspiracy world you live on. There could be aliens out there, Ron, that we would be surfing against at some not too distant future, bro.
Mate, there's some freaks. It's questionable. There could be aliens in the draw today. But we've got a great first lineup for us. This is going to be the second round of the Froggies repechage. We've got NASA, the North Avalon Surf Riders Association. They're out there. Newquay Boardriders here for the first time. They've been buzzing around the event site. North Shelley, just a formidable team that have claimed some really big honours, national titles here in Australia. And only one Boardriders from Japan. They look sharp.
Yep.
But everyone limbering up because today's going to put a little bit more pressure on the rig, test your fitness, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, with the swell, we've got that big sweep, Vorno, so it's going to be a real challenge. It's been kiddie stuff out there. It's been easy entry into the lineup here at Snapper. There's been a reverse current, so they haven't had to fight that. So we're going to see a big shift up in the tactical game as well.
It's a big change. In the back of your mind, I think when you've watched so much footage of Snapper Rocks, you see that big backwash behind the jump rock there. You think, oh man, I can't wait to get there one day and get one of those. And then you get out here on a day like this, the sweep. Just the challenge of dealing with that backwash. There's elements there that don't sort of sit in your head. They don't sit in reality as easy as they do in your head. But Omi Wan Boardriders, Ron. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, they're a great addition. So many new teams in. We went from 31 teams last year, and we had a handful of wildcards taking up places in those individual parts of the draw.
That's cool.
We went from 31 to 48 teams.
Yeah.
And, a whole lot more internationals, a lot more interest coming. A lot of people just blowing up my phone saying, how come we didn't get the invitation to get in?
Who was on the blower?
I don't want to name names. Kurt Nyholm, Steve Clements. Everyone out there, they're proud club members who want to see their team in here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, it's going to evolve again. And Bugs has been talking about regional qualifiers, even qualifiers in some of those international zones in order to ensure that we obviously get the best of the best here.
Well, I mean, the big announcement just at the President's Dinner the other night being that this is the last...
Wait. Okay, I don't know if that was broadcast yet. Was it? Bugs is planning on revealing some big news today. So just...
Sorry, put the genie back in the bottle there.
You don't want to steal Bugs' thunder, mate.
No. Hell, no way, mate.
come in. Vaughan, it's been great to have you part of the event for the first 5 years. What a contest.
Okay, well, just stay tuned. I'm glad I didn't let the cat out of the bag.
No, thanks, Vaughno.
No worries.
We just saw the morning acknowledgement of country about to go down, the welcome to country. Of course, this place, inhabited for forever and still by an amazing Indigenous community, the Yugambeh people, the Bundjalung Nation, a big meeting place. Just an incredible area. It's so beautiful here. The river that basically helped carve out this wave and helps bring that sand around the point here and set up the super bank. At one time would have just been pristine and just a happy hunting ground.
How much this headland has changed. The hotel we're staying in around the corner, the Greenmount Beach House, it's got all these classic old shots of early days Coolangatta. Unrecognisable in a lot of ways. The headland at Greenmount looks like a little farm. It hasn't got a tree on it. And then here, right there that you're looking at on the drone shot, there used to be a dolphin pool right there. Obviously didn't last too long. As soon as a giant southerly swell wrapped around and dolphins just swam over the rocks and off to freedom. But yeah, there used to be a car park right there. Activities, the photos of it are just amazing. But I think they wisened up to that pretty quickly because this place does get bombarded. The swell obviously comes over those rocks with a lot of power, and the council eventually making those good plans to keep that area free. Here it is, first ride of the morning, jams into the pocket, and that is what we're in for, Ronnie. That was NASA, I believe, maybe Letty.
It was Letty Mortensen. Let goes down. There's a lot of history with the Boardriders clubs here in Australia in particular, and many of them reaching that 50-year milestone. NASA's just clicked over. We've got the Coffs Harbour Boardriders. They'll be celebrating 60 years soon. Snapper have just had their 60th anniversary.
Newquay.
As we see, Newquay up. Oh, there's a good-looking hit. There's been some great surfing through those opening days of competition, but let's not beat around the bush. The waves have been pretty gutless. So it's really been self-generated momentum today. The ocean's pushing back, and we're going to see some huge turns laid down.
Lucas Skinner, he'll get it done on the inside. This is really interesting too because the sweep is so strong. Your wave selection's just pretty much going to have to be on point. I can't imagine too many surfers pulling off a wave and then, electing to paddle back out. It's just going to be a real time-consuming effort. Lucas gets it done. Letty, even if you take off on one, Ron, and you nosedive, how quickly you get sucked down the point here at Snapper on an incoming tide is radical. So Letty's going to be, you can see him right there on the left of your screen. He looks like he's back into position, so that's good stuff. He's fit man, Letty Mortensen. And unusual to see him pearl on a takeoff.
Yep. You don't see it. And I wonder if Letty's had a bit of an equipment shift up. There'll probably be a few people that do get back to your more traditional high-performance shortboard. Yeah. Letty's been riding something that looks a little flatter, a little wider. Worked well for him, worked well for the NASA team.
Lots of epoxy. Look at these grinders.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's going to be a great day of competition. Really interesting, though, the burnout factor is going to be legit because if you stumbled at any point in the competition so far, but you're still here on finals day in the Froggies division, you'll have to surf 6 times to get to that final.
That's
potentially.
Mad. You must be stoked to see the repechage back in the format, Ron. You did a lot of your junior surfing in repechage division.
Oh, you dog.
Here we go. Look, yes, that is classic Snapper grinders. Sucking up that much sand. You don't want to go down on those things, Ron. You could end up with quite the nasty chafing between the cheeks.
Yeah, it's churning out there at the moment.
We just saw Amura Suzuki go down. CT surfer, World Junior Champ. Oh, my goodness. Did you cop the World Junior Champ finals yesterday?
Oh, incredible. Congratulations to Luana Silva. But Bronson, Medi, and Winner Vincent had just one for the ages.
One of the all-time heats.
One of the all-time finals.
Parko said to me earlier, just midway through last year when he got home from that double Vishnu Billabong trip. He was like, mate, Bronson, mate, he is the craziest surfer I've seen in a long time. Oh, Booglord and getting absolutely smoked by Letty here. Oh, just like he's out LA. Just looking over his shoulder at Benny and Toby Player and going, see you, boys. But Letty has to call that one. He'll be Devo. Didn't get the snapper wave he was looking for.
No, but the beautiful thing about the format, Vorno, is that there's been some tweaks, and it's, you know, yesterday there was a complication. One of the walkie-talkies clapped out on us, and it meant we had a full heat resurf, which put us on the A-ball a little bit, but Bugs has reinstalled that absolute advantage for the teams today. So if you have a dud moment, you may get an opportunity if you're ahead of the clock to go out there and improve on your score. And Letty's going to be begging for that because there's some gems out here at the moment.
There's PJ Highland on the inside, just paddling through the area. And it's been...
Might have been Josh Kirkman.
It could have been, actually. Yeah, I saw him lurking around at the President's Dinner.
Yeah, he's here. He's down here telling all the...
big win for Surfers for Climate.
And Surfrider, amazing. Step 11.
Gone.
Scrapped.
Check you later.
Done. But, so just on the format changes, we reverted back to just one surfer being able to go out at the end of your heat, looking to improve on a score. Everyone can have that opportunity, provided there's enough time on the clock. But a couple of things, Warner, you can't do the paddle around from Froggies today. We just don't need any issues there.
Oh, look at it. Yes, Snapper rocks. Thank you very much.
Oh, here we go.
Delivers, and on the inside, Newquay Boardriders off to a flyer, 5.17 for Lucas Skinner's first. And now this is Joe and Peg. And he'll get the job done. And fanging around from out the back. This is the first ride for North Shelley. I think it's Joel Barry. And you can hear Tapatis, the voice of the Gold Coast. Some say the John Laws of surf up here, Ron. And he'll fang down onto the inside, Joel. He's just looking for something here. It's so tricky to pick the good ones on a day like today when the sweep's running down, because some break a little wide, they don't get much face, and you're kind of constantly coming around sections. But if you can get one of those ones that, you know, you do the airdrop and then the shiv into the cone zone, froth fest begins.
Not the first Barry we've seen hammering down the line here on the Gold Coast over the years. So many good surfers from
the great Michael Munger.
Oh, Michael Munger, Barry.
He's, I actually was just watching a clip the other day of Munger. Someone whacked up Switch Munger. You know, that's been a bit of a thing. And I just forgot how much I loved him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was just wall fodder in my room.
Yeah. Born with a 3-day growth.
Yeah, he was,
Munger.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he just always had a bit of stuff.
Yeah, he was a baby with a
beard.
A full little beard in the crib.
Yeah, and a set of ugly razors on.
Iconic look.
Iconic look.
On the Nevs.
Okay, so Newquay off to a fly, Borno, and, you know, there's been some big numbers dropped in the event, but it's not until you sort of see what happens in the exchange that you kind of say, well, that's a good number. 5.17 at the moment is just, you'll bank it. I mean, everyone else is hanging on to throwaways.
Yeah. It's pretty mad. You get here on a morning like this, when you walk over the hill, it's groomed, it's spitting all over the place, you're thundering behind the rock. You still got to be so selective. You got to know which one is going to be the one. Snapper has a crazy advantage on a day like today. The hometown club defending champs.
Yeah, it's just really a level or two, a little unorganised, a challenging ocean to deal with. And, you know, Newquay, I know there's some great surfers in the team, but you look at NASA and North Shelley and their lineup. You've got an Olympian in the Naomi 1 team, and you just kind of go, well, how are they going to fare against these established clubs, these clubs that know the team surfing game so well, and at the moment,
that's right,
they got the 2 highest scoring rides of the opening exchange.
I forgot about that. We got an Olympic bronze medalist in this heat.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Amura Suzuki Such a legend. I was actually in South Korea and watched her win an event over there as well. As we see, Macy Callahan now, such a strong performer, always in these team events. She's brought it home for North Shelley, along with Molly Picklum, who would no doubt be watching. And rock solid surfing here from the former CT competitor. You could just imagine it back on as out the back. A huge hack here from Fraze, going mad and putting NASA back in the frame. Oh my goodness, the big man. Looking like Thor out there right now. Throwing hammers.
Wow, big Fraze.
This is a big score. This is best ride of the heat stuff.
He was a man-child, Fraser. He was a big unit. Used to see him... used to travel over to the North Shore, and he looked at home at places like Haleiwa and Sunset, those big turns. He would have just been absolutely licking his lips this morning with the swell filling.
Well, you can hear the applause from Ninja, Bucacino, the cinema, the chicken shop, RSL, Apollo. And, of course, the beach without sand, it's always on in the front window.
Sure is. Big shout-out to Watto Kong.
Look at this.
And the team.
That's wave of the morning so far, and a new benchmark has been set from Fraser. Great surfer. Former Aussie champ.
Yeah, I reckon wouldn't be surprised if Batesy and Pato got the fire hose out after that one. Make a bit of noise for the team.
Isn't
the local fireys.
Pato's in Japan, isn't he?
Oh, mate, it goes a long way.
He would have set the alarm. And
yeah.
Good stuff there from Fraze. And that's a wonderful wave. Look at this on the inside too.
Omi-Wan. Ooh, this is Toi Tanaka, who spends a lot of time here on the Gold Coast. An easy call-up with his local knowledge. Toi's a great surfer. He's found one with just that smooth, silky line down the point here. But it is going to be hard to match the meat that Fraser put into his
that's
turns.
a good finish. That's what Omi-Wan needed.
They needed a settler.
And they just needed to feel their way back into this heat. NASA screaming at the moment with Fraser's number dropping a 7-point ride.
So there's been some switch-ups in the teams too. Some people have made it back onto the coast to represent their clubs. Macy Callahan, she's out there for North Shelley. Just dropped a 5.93.
Hutchison Builders replay. This is Toy's wave. Good thing about this wave is it stayed steep for him in certain sections. So he got some good turns in. Strong finish as well. That's going to matter today. You'll see a lot of fat backs when it sort of hits the outside part of the bank. So good finishes will get the judges interested.
I'm just so amped on the changes to basically the way that the team's collected points. So glad that it's about the champion team and not the champions within the team collecting points as individuals. You know, full credit to those who have broken through for those individual wins here over the years. You know, the likes of Timmy Stoyle, Sheldon Simkus.
True.
But with respect.
Yeah.
Pick
your nose and wipe a boogie on that, mate. We've got plenty of that coming up throughout the calendar year.
Yeah. So it's awesome. You know, a champion team can beat a team that's got the ultimate champions in it, which is awesome.
And that's
we've
always
got champions galore out there. Champignons in here. Awesome to see.
Yeah. I just think that's the strength of the Boardriders format. You can have, and we've seen that over and over again in the national Australian Boardriders battles. Just those teams that have a rock-solid belief and everyone gets out there and does their best, and quite often you will see, teams with champions, world champions in them, get done.
So
served up.
We've got, obviously we mentioned those milestones that some of the Boardriders clubs in Australia are starting to reach. The Boardriders scene in other parts of the world is relatively young, so you've almost got whole nations representing their country, but they take that Boardriders froth and that community feel back home, and we've seen it happen in the last couple of years. Chrissy and Sebastian Zeitz, they really went home and started working on a Boardriders scene over in the States. They had qualifiers at maxing Haleiwa. So if you made the grade and got yourself over here, you were frothing. It's happening.
In the last 2 years, 7 board riders have popped up in Hawaii on the back of Seabass getting over there and getting it moving with his wife. So amazing stuff. And that board riders culture is the best.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
this guy just is a North Shelley stalwart. He is such a performer. He loves these teams events. So consistent. Shane Holmes always delivers. Looking fit.
Always fit.
Yeah.
He works in the big stuff. Concrete. Crete, mate.
Crete.
Yeah. How you been, Shano? Yeah, good, mate. Just got a couple of good new slurry buckets, so business is good.
Yeah.
Here's new key board riders, and they've slipped down a little bit, so this is a strong performance, though.
It's amazing how quickly the heat can turn on its head when someone drops a big number. And it was Fraser Doble getting his team back on track. Macy Callahan, saw her on screen a moment ago. She got North Shelley back in the fast lane. And Yuki needs an answer here, a response for Lauren Sandlin, who's out there at the moment.
Oh, good stuff here.
Omi 1 is starting to fire up.
Manajo, he'll back up that Toy Tanaka 4.4. Love that, Ron. You know, if you drop the ball, if you kind of shame yourself, your team, your family, your community by getting a 0.1, the next surfer can come straight out and rebuild.
We're going to see a few throwaways today. Some people are going to fall out of rhythm with those set waves. That sweep is lethal today as we see C. Lee sticking with this one for Team NASA. Trying to maintain their position at the top.
That's so cool. I love seeing the Jones girls in these events.
Yeah, Cedar and Bodie always put on a show. Amazing junior careers, but touched on it a couple of times. Cedar, she won so many titles, but she kind of drifted away from competition for a year or so, and she's back. The fire's back. She's ready to go.
Yeah, I'm always having a little free surf or a catch up with Bodie as well, and good surfers.
Free surf. So
did I say free surf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a free surfer now.
Well, I mean, yeah, myself, Margot, Aussie Bright, Dion Aegis, and Bodie Lee. Yeah, we like to hang out. It's good fun.
All right, so what we've got now is a couple of numbers on the way, and this one could be pretty good for Manaja Yahagi. Smooth style, classic.
It's the finishing turn here where the points will come. It looks spectacular. I think that if you get that bonus, it's going to do wonderful things. Look at that little speed check. You can see this thing coming a mile away. Is there any better feeling in surfing than fanging towards a really nice crispy lip like that?
Loved it. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Well,
I know there's actually lots of better feelings.
Got his nickname for hopping around the penny parlours around town.
Yeah.
Goober gave him his nickname, actually, Rabbit.
Shout out to the Goobs.
Yeah, Goober from the Fringe Dwellers. And,
they didn't get a start-up, didn't get an invite?
No, the Fringe Dwellers didn't get a call-up. But, yeah, Rabbit is just hopping around the event site now because with the swell, you know, he needed to get some instructions to each of the team coaches, the captains, and just remind them that, you know, there is some rules with this format. They've done well to get their head around it so far, but first of all, jumping off at Froggies, that's forbidden. The sweep's too gnarly. There's big set waves rolling in. We don't want anyone to end up on the rocks. Secondly,
just to qualify that, though, Dog, the last time there was a swell here at Snapper, Parko got washed up over those rocks in really similar sorts of conditions and size. So if one of the all-time local legends, world champ, like 4-time Triple Crown winner, is getting washed up on the rocks, you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, Parko's coming to Gutsa. You're not going there.
Nah.
So smart call from Bugs. And secondly, you know, you've really got to be careful to when you're releasing the next surfer in your order. You know, that basically that has to be clear. You've got to do it at the end of your ride. You've got to be on your feet to release that surfer. And Terry Tapatis on the mic down here at the beach, he has to let the panel know over the loudspeaker, who is heading out, that someone has been released for that team.
The Richard Feidler of surf commentary.
Yeah, exactly. Conversations with Terry Tapper. But, you don't, you want to be sure about it. We've seen Amuro Suzuki, for example, kind of get caught up in the sweep and went so far down the line that she just stood up and released that next surfer because she was out of position. And you're not going to be able to fight your way back for her. You can't do it today.
You wouldn't say it's worked against Omi-Wan either, because they're going to get a second score from Minojo's last wave. Nice little speed shiv off the top.
Yeah, Loki Cullen.
Very good surfer, this guy. And this looks speedy as well. So nice opening first turn. Don't know what he got done out the back. I believe this is Yuji Mori, and now North Shelley up and riding as well. Ron?
Yeah, North Shelley are...
That's Jackson.
They're fighting their way back. We've still got numbers on the way too. It's all happening here on what will be finals day of the Usher Cup, the 5th edition, the World Club Challenge. We're going to whittle down this field, 48 clubs, until we find our ultimate champions. Shane Holmes hoping to potentially get back out there in the final stages.
Glasses just snapped.
Oh, Vaughan, not the glasses.
Well, I won't be able to read anything.
Oh, well. Not a good thing.
I was really getting into that Twilight Saga as well, Ron. Loving it.
So Letty just standing by, hoping that he gets another opportunity out there in this lineup.
Yeah. It's a good opportunity here for Letty to step up for NASA.
Yeah, he only managed a 2.67 on his first ride. Cedar's making her way in. We just saw Loki Cullen, and Letty's just looking for the rock jump. He's not waiting to be released. But have a look at the sets rolling in.
Oh, that looks scary.
Take a step back. Brace yourself, son.
When you hear sometimes and you go off that jump rock, you see the locals just bounce onto that backwash and just catch it straight out into the position.
Borna, you're Letty, obviously a very popular man in his local community. Everywhere he goes,
Dear friend.
Such a big smile on his face. One of the happiest go-lucky people you'll ever meet. And you're a huge fan of his haircut.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long time since Eminem first came out. And it's good. It's good to see someone doffing the cap to the old platinum tips.
Good mate of ours, Jezza Blake, great surfer. I shaved my head one time, and he doesn't have hair, and he said to me, "That's the greatest insult that you can."
It is.
Dish out to a bald man is to choose
to
take your hair off.
What has happened here?
Amuro Suzuki. She's only hanging on to a low-scoring ride. Surely she believes that she had priority in that situation.
Well, she doesn't make mistakes. You don't become a world champion making mistakes. You don't become an Olympic bronze medalist making priority mistakes. So something has happened here. Looks like Nuki felt like he had run of that. He's a bit confused. Murray will just keep surfing.
Okay,
and we hear that maybe, I believe that might have been Skin Dog. I think he has released the surfer. Interesting.
Next surfer in the
Maybe
team.
that was Flynn Gillespie, I'm not sure. But, yeah, you've got to be careful here. 6 minutes 30. Priority's going to be an issue today, Ron.
Mate, it's going to happen. There's a lot going on out here. Communication's going to be a little bit difficult too, just hearing the onside announcer, because typically with that strong wind, those sound waves just get blown away up to the city. As we see now, North Shelley finishing one off on the inside here. Clean hit, a little drift on the tail there.
Jacko, was it?
Yep, Baxter Cohen.
Amuro.
Maybe Joel Barry. So Amuro Suzuki.
Joel. Yeah. Sorry about it.
Amuro Suzuki, is making her way in. Some of that clean rail work on show.
This is better. Much better. Omi-Wan needing to make up
some serious points.
So NASA in control still. North Shelley getting it done.
So generally, when you're looking at the numbers that have been logged already, it gets pretty simple to sort of work out who might be heading back out there. And I think for Omi 1, it's probably going to be Yuji Mori who hits the lineup again. Only managed a 3.27 on his first effort for Omi 1, so he'll try and drop something bigger to give his team the best possibility of, I think, staying alive in this event.
Under 5 minutes. Starting to see the froth and fervour on the point. Notice all that froth. All the build-up of the storm froth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this one for Newkey. They need something to get back on track here.
This is a skin dog, isn't it? Saw some great clips of him, a little profile piece online recently, Ron.
Lucas Skinner.
Yeah. Massive talent coming from that particular part of the world. And far out, when was the last GB world champ? Do you remember who it was? I think it was a dear friend of yours. Had a couple of lows, didn't mind flapping in a breeze like today.
Oh, Martin Potter.
He won his world title under the Great Britain flag.
That's right. Big shout out to Potts. So let's have a look at this one again. Nice little wall. I think everyone's still kind of trying to figure out where the most scoring potential is. Is it on those bigger set waves? Is it on those ones that aren't quite as tall but hug that bank a little bit better? There'll be adjustments made throughout. I guess the thing is, in this format and with the clock really playing a huge part in success for your team as a whole, you don't want to get too picky, especially with that current. Sit out there waiting for a wave. You're having a tough time holding position. Here goes Letty. He likes the look of this one on the bank. Oh! Pokes the nose. If you're going to fall, you're probably best off falling on your first turn.
So just to be clear, does the fifth surfer, it's not just one ride counts, Ron? You get a couple of bites at the cherry?
No, you can catch it unlimited.
As long as you're in on time.
As long as you're in on time. Unlimited wave count. You don't lose the score that you log. You keep the highest number that you've got. Unless you release the next surfer. So it looks like Letty is going to make his way in now. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
He wants the bonus 3.
Yeah, maybe.
2 minutes. He's surely not going to try and get back out off the rock.
Well, it's been a challenge too with the higher tide in those first 2 days of competition. If you caught a wave and you were sort of nearing the final minute, you had to get into the dry sand basically on your own accord. There wasn't any swell lines to push you in there. Today, you might get a little foamy reeling through into the bay.
I saw yesterday Dakota Walters sat out there. It was a really tight heat, and there was just no swell at all, and he just paddled straight in and got the bonus 3 just to get a score on the board.
Smart.
They're wily competitors.
1 minute 40 seconds to go, and I wonder if NASA sent anyone else back out there. North Shelley has gotten themselves up into the lead. No surprises there. Such a strong team. They didn't get shaken up in the early stages with the scores dropping for everyone else. And each of their team riders has put up a mid-ranger, and that's got them sit pretty strong at the moment.
That's it. Well, it's no surprise to see Macy dropping the biggest number on that team as well. She's so strong when it comes to performing for North Shelley.
So NASA is, I think, their whole team's on the beach already. I think. As we see,
Yuki trying to fight back.
And Yuki could be dangerous here for the NASA club, because they're not looking for a whole lot to climb up into that second position, just 3.41.
Oh, well, Lucas needs to get busy. He's got to find a section on this inside. We've seen some of the Japanese competitors link beautifully through Little Marley.
No. Loki's back out there.
Loki's back out there.
And this is going to be interesting. He's still got to get to that dry sand. You don't lose points, but there is that bonus. 3 points on offer. So he's likely not going to get back to the beach. 20 seconds to go
20
here.
seconds, so he's got to get a finish. Here's the fit out, and he gets a nice up and over.
Nice stuff. So therefore going those bonus 3 points. Will Newkey make it back to the beach form?
You only got to make it to the sand, right? There's no box. There's no sprint.
There's no box. Just got to get to sand. And, you know, the bit of rain, dry sand's going to be pretty hard to distinguish. You just got to get out of the water, basically.
How mad is that? Like, you get back to the sand, you get that 3. But if you decide to stay out there, you got to try and surf at least to get better than a 3. To give your team that little bit of extra.
Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty interesting. This isn't a given. This is going to be tight. I mean, Loki Cullen, he was trying to improve on a 3.77, I believe. I liked his last turn.
Yeah, I liked it.
He did a little bit of work before that, but how much extra is he going to throw on it?
And what did the last Japanese surfer do?
Exactly, and did they make it back to the beach? You know, it's a little hard to get cameras on everyone because they're coming in at different places on the point here. Down around the corner of Rainbow Bay.
Macy's having a giggle.
Well, North Shelley should be sweet. They got through their roster. They all got back to the beach. They were pretty strong through their roster with their scoring. Mid-range scores for everyone. Macy Callahan putting the best score up. No surprises there, 5.93.
Little shout out to Huey Vaughan. Fortunately knocked out of the World Juniors with a broken toe on the day before the event. He probably would have... Probably you could imagine him like jumping on a plane and fanging it back here to try and surf in this event. Had he got through into that round and not suffered the accident. That's how much they care about it. Big brother Joel on the CT this year, Ronnie. That's going to be fun to watch.
Hey, Varner.
Oh, tell us what's happened.
Newkey Boardriders didn't get back to the beach. That was crucial for them. 13.96. NASA needed the bonus 3 points. 18.3. It was the only one Boardriders have eclipsed them. 18.73.
Wow.
And I believe Loki did up the ante of 4.7, but it was...
they needed the extra.
It was the 3 points, actually, that ended up making the difference.
Oh, that is heartbreaking for NASA.
Yeah, so NASA out of the mix. Only one clutch in the final stages there. The Japanese surfers staying alive in the mix here. North Shelley with a relatively easy win.
Hard to believe on the back of Fraser doubles 7. That was the best wave of the heat by far. We're into Froggy's heat 2 already.
We're into it, mate. He's on.
This is a good one. Coffs Harbour, big year for Coffs. 60 years since that club was founded. North Shore Boardriders always strong. Sandon Point in the mix. Fantastic. South Coast stalwarts down there. And Kawana Boardriders from the sunny coast. And they've been simmering for a long time as well, Kawana. They've got a great team.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Reefy Hazelwood's from up that way. I believe he surfs for Kawana.
The Stokes brothers.
Stokes brother and sister.
Fire, yeah. Well, Taj got the first barrel of the event. And, you'd be hoping for a bit more of that. They're out there. You just are going to really struggle to hold that position behind the rock today. That's subtly sweet.
Center Point. This would feel fairly familiar, I'd imagine.
Pearl Peters, first up for the Sandon team. Looks at the beach there. She wants more. She's going to head back out. So back to 35-minute heats for now, and I think it's fitting. There's enough waves out there. It's the positioning today is the challenge. Yeah, the local knowledge is going to be such a massive advantage for the Gold Coast clubs.
Oh, yeah.
I think, almost everyone, whether it's D-Bar, M&M, Burley, whatever, they've all done time at this break on days like this. And just their paddle fitness too. You can get overtaken by the crustiest old snapper local in the lineup. just they're just the muscle memory there. It's just automatic for them. They can chat, they can talk. For the rest of us, you're penning your way up the line. It's a nightmare.
Oh, there's the backwash. That's really the trademark that separates snapper from the other Queensland points. You see that big foxtail, you're like, oh, yeah, yep, I know where that is.
Yeah, I heard Ock talking about it yesterday. He said, he surfed all over the world, surfed some really, challenging waves. And he said behind the rocket snapper is one of the trickiest takeoffs out there.
It's not surprising that great snapper rock surfers end up being great backdoor surfers. They just know how to handle that sort of steep and deep late lurch that, big, heavy reef breaks can throw up.
Yeah, it's the acid drop.
It is.
They just
get on the tail.
Kick on that tail and, just adjust their weight so beautifully to put themselves in the zone, right there in the zone, Warner.
Love it.
But yeah, this is the day that we're going to watch hearts break live, and you'll also see people in massive celebration mode as well. Team Portugal, did you see their win yesterday? They got second, and they were screaming. You could see the tears streaming down their face just to stay alive in that snapper side of the draw, because it's a huge advantage if you've maintained your position in that snapper side of the draw, because you'll surf, potentially you're surfing 2 heats to get a crack at the grand final. Whereas if you've ended up on this froggy side, if you drop the ball at some stage during the event, but you're still alive in the rapid charge rounds, could surf up to 6 times today, and there could be back-to-back heats for those surfers who come through don't progress through this snap round, I should say. They're going to have to get straight back out there in the next round of froggies as well.
Carly White surfing here, representing Coffs.
Well, Carly knows Snapper Rocks Vaughan. Used to commentate the CT event with Carly back in the day.
That's right. Classic. I remember doing a few heats with Carly myself.
But with Rosie Smart over there competing at the World Juniors, congratulations to Rosie too. Cracked the semi-finals there. She was ripping on her way through the contest. But how cool for Coffs, shows their depth that they can call on someone like Carly who's got plenty of competitive experience.
And this is a great start for Coffs Harbour. She picked her wave with plenty to offer in that first section, and it's a really nice cruisy snowboarding type wave. But linking the turns, speed, power, flow. Flow is one of those things in that criteria that matters. And she's put together a great opening ride here for Coffs.
From Byron originally, and now living down that way.
Who's your favourite Coffs Harbour surfer? Oh, someone got some fish.
Oh, it's the Stokes boys. They're back at it. I believe this is Seb. Seb Stokes. Zeb's picked off a jam here.
It's actually been, at some point, we're going to see thick, mad tube rides in this event today. That's what we've all been wanting. I said to Bugs this morning, you got to be, rubbing your hands together, jumping up and down on the spot, doing a bit of airboxing, the classic Bugs way. And as Zeb comes through on the inside, a little stab to finish and the big flex. He releases the second surfer, and that's a great start for Kwana. I'd love to know just how piped he got out the back there.
Yeah, Bugs is,
Here we go.
Bugs
Look at
is
this.
buzzing today, Borno, that's for sure.
Drops the anchor, gets the vision. Just the nose sticking out, a beautiful cover-up to fire the first shot here for Kwana. Yeah, the sunny coast, it's having a real moment. I think, on the back of North Shore's success up there's been some... Wow, that was a big turn, as we say, North Shore. So we've got a couple of Boardriders clubs who would know each other's game really well here. And that...
Yellow released. Yellow released.
Is that Reggie?
That's Reggie.
So just on the back of a big win at the Burleigh Single Fin last week. He's such a good surfer. Challenger Series. Copped a bit of Reggie last year. Yeah, big unit.
Gotta love a bit of Reggie.
Can go to the air.
Yeah,
Power is his main weapon.
Oh, yeah. He's a timing guy. He just hits the pocket just absolutely perfectly every time. Stays on beat, Borno. Good rhythm. As we see now, centre point up once again. Pearl Peters. This is the replay of her last ride.
Yeah, it's a much better offering than her first ride. So she's done well to get out there, improve on her score a bit, put Sandon Point in a better spot, and I believe she'll be releasing Sammy Lowe into the lineup, the Aussie champ, Ronnie.
Sammy. Well, Sammy Lowe's old boy won the event here, CT event back in the day.
Yeah, he's on the stairs.
He's on the stairs, mate. Zeb Stokes getting KBC off to a flyer. An excellent score, the first of the day, an 8-point ride. They're loving the pits. And Alistair Reginato, here he is. This was a 7-1-7. So without the barrel, almost matched that score with moves like that.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
That's really solid surfing from North Shore. And it's actually in these teams events where Al first sort of made a name for himself.
That's right.
He and his brother, brought it home for North Shore. A classic finish to one of the all-time ABB finals. And they dived into the box to get the points and the win. Breaking, I think it was North Shelley's hearts in that particular instance, but
That was down at Newcastle.
it was spectacular.
2023.
But then, on the back of that, I think the Reginato boys are real examples of club surfing, giving them the launch pad into further success in their own right. Punching it up into the lip here for Koana. Oh, he's found a beautiful link through onto the inside. Taji.
Well, the charities in the local area are supported by the Usher Cup World Club Challenge, shining a light on organisations like the Village School, focused on play and skills-based learning, curiosity-led learning experiences. Unbelievable. Low student-to-teacher ratio, so the kids really get
That one-on-one attention.
Oh, it's amazing. So the Village School doing great things.
Shout out to the teachers.
Oh, all over.
Who was your favourite teacher at school, Ron? Oh, we'll get back to that. Slicing back. Oh, we know who this is. North Shore, Sophie McCulloch. So great to see her back in the Rashi after compressing her spine at the box.
Yeah, that was
horrific injury, a whole year out of the water, and now she is back. And isn't it mad, Ron, how an injury that can really put you out can actually rebuild you as a competitor, stronger, faster. Now, we saw, Mick Fanning basically turn from mad Cooley Bogan to elite superstar athlete on the back of ripping his hamstring off the bone.
Oh, yeah.
And many surfers taking his lead. It's amazing the silver lining that a kind of career-threatening injury can be at times.
Yeah, well, she's so smart, but it's given us a break from competition. It's just such a grind to go through your junior career, straight into amateurs, straight on the QS, qualify for the championship tour. It's basically like there is no breather. So it's been a long, committed campaign with the jersey on. So far, I think just went, you know what? I'm just going to lean into this, enjoy the break. She did say yesterday when she put the jersey on, she was super nervous, just getting back into competition. But did stop her from dropping an excellent score, and you just get the feeling you'll see a bit more of that from Sophie through this event. So good.
Well, she's dropped a 6.83 for North Shore on the back of Reggie's 7.17. This is the story of North Shore Boardriders. They are so consistent in teams events. You're a fool. You're an absolute fool if you write them off. They always perform strongly, and I think their team dynamic is one of the best. North Shelley, North Shore, there's a few clubs that just function as kind of like Blue Bottles, Ron.
Got that sting.
Well, they've got the sting.
They're buoyant.
But also, I just found out the other day that Blue Bottles are actually 4 different organisms that work perfectly to create one sort of
Mass
ecosystem of coexistence. That's what these 4 surfers who make up the clubs do.
There's a 5th component to the Blue Bottle 2, Vaughan, and that is the victim. And you got tangled up with one at the single fin, which was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, you loved it.
Oh, it was great. But did it get into your glands?
It didn't get into the glands. No, it didn't ruin my day. Don't know how. It really stung.
But anyway, back to North Shore. One of the longest running clubs in the country, founded in the late 60s by a bunch of Redcliffe surfers. And
so they're Dolphins supporters, are they?
Love it, though. But, they're really successful.
Well, Reggie looks disappointed here. Oh, mate, no, look, I could have hit that last section a bit harder.
Yeah.
No, don't be like that, Reg. Be proud, mate. Represent. Out the back.
Oh, this is a good-looking one for Creed.
Cracks it upside down.
That's the section Creed Smart's been waiting for.
Third alert.
He absolutely smoked that first section. Easy decision to release there. He was quite a ways down the line. There wasn't much left on that wave. Not a whole lot of meat left on the bone. He just absolutely hammered that first pocket.
He's released Coffs Harbour's secret weapon. Well, not so secret, but an absolute weapon in Jakey Sharp. You know, I often hear Jake Sharp described as the surfer's surfer, Ron. You know, a compatriot of Julian Wilson. Grew up together, sparring partners, and that generation, you know, your Owen Wrights, your Julian Wilsons, they rate Jake Sharp as high as anyone they surfed against. On the back end now, cracks it, but comes undone.
Ooh, semi-low. Yeah, no, Jake Sharp's amazing. I think he might have been, other than Julian putting stickers on his own board and sponsoring himself, I think Jake Sharp was the first person he sent a summer pack to and a couple of stickers for his brand. And yeah, Jake's he's a talent, man. I remember him back in the old Rusty days, featuring in their flicks, big airs, and you know what? The Coffs team is sort of just a collection. Not so much their female surfer, but all the blokes. They're just nuggets. They're powerful. They're strong. They're well-rounded. Wink too. He was an explosive, progressive surfer when he was a grown, but when he put his board on rail, whew, so good. That little nuggety, Ewok-y, knackers-y generation from the mid-north coast. Thick units who knew how to put it on rail. You got to doff to the Trent Munros, the Lee Winklers. Fantastic surfers. You've been part of some big celebrations down there at Coffs Harbour, their end-of-year club championships. You were there for their 50th anniversary. Yeah, I actually, I've been down to a few club championships. I'm going to go down again this year for the 60th. They basically love the club. Give you the keys to the Cooper's surf shop down there, don't they? They give me the keys to the Hoey Moey. Love that. Which is fun. So you're going to head down for their 60th? Yeah, I definitely will. I reckon they're a favourite club. You know, you and I grew up at Coffs in some ways. Spent a lot of our time, if we weren't surfing, riding the Aquajet. Well, the old man was at Diggers Beach this morning. Giving me the surf report. Here we go. Kawana up again. Oh, this is a nice looking wall. No, this is Taj, sorry. Nice. Love the open face extension. It's funny. You take off, you get a couple of turns in, and when it goes fat like that, it's so frustrating because you know that when you get a good one out here, you can tag it for miles. Just Cam Smith, tee off, whack, whack, whack. And, yeah, you know, sometimes you've just got to cop it, Ron. You've got to cop that wide push and just deal with the fatbacks. Yeah. Well, yesterday, Vaughan, people were pretty just sort of relaxed and complacent in their release of the next surf in the order. But Bugs has read everyone the
Right act about it.
right act and gone down and say, hey, it's at the end of your wave. You've got to be on your feet. You've got to make it really clear. Otherwise, if Terry doesn't release that next surfer, then the judging panel doesn't know who's heading out for you, and it gets a little confusing. But the format, I love it, and so do the competitors. Had a chat to some of the, the big dogs in the draw, some of the former CTers, and they're like, it's so refreshing to compete in a format like this where you're not hindered. Unlimited waves. Of course, that's sort of the order in most events these days, but just the way it works, like someone in your team can capitalise on that inside position at Snapper Rocks here without the team losing any ground. If you get swept down the line, you can quickly release the surfer and someone's at the takeoff zone in an instant, here at Snapper Rocks especially, to tap into that next set wave.
That's so cool. And it's working beautifully today. Rabs was saying, we're not going to see as many waves surfed on a day like today, but I think the teams have really clued onto their tactics now that we've got this push down the point, as you say. This is North Shore Boardriders coming through onto the inside. Noah Andrew. I've copped a lot of Noah surfing over the years. And he's not scared to throw the fins, Ron. He's not going to get that opportunity as this one comes through on the inside. But cop the scores in this heat, Doggy.
Yeah, solid, aren't they?
Reginardo, really. North Shore have a 7.17 and a 6.83 in the bag. No score yet to drop. Kawana Boardriders, Zeb Stokes, an 8. Excellent ride, a 5.83. Coffs have a 5.5 and a 6.33. And Sandon need to get moving. But they're big scores across the board for the teams.
Big scores, but it is, in these events, it's about maintaining the average. Like keeping it up there. If you're first surfer can drop that big number 717 and you can get pretty close to it, achieving that same score, it relieves pressure on the next two surfers in the order. As soon as someone doesn't kind of deliver, if your second surfer goes out there after someone's had an excellent wave and drops a 2-point ride, you're kind of getting back to even with the two teams that maybe drop 5-point rods on their first two scores. So
this is why maths is important at school.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand a thing you're saying. No, I do. But
if you love surfing as much as we do, you end up getting pretty good at numbers between 0 and 10.
Ooh, a little grower here for Kawana.
Yeah, nice. And I've been enjoying just the clean, flowing surfing of Alyssa King throughout the event. Just even in the event, just never looks to let the competition moment get the better of her. Always maintains that clean approach.
Sammy.
Yeah, you can see Sammy Lowe's out there pushing hard. I think, feeling the pressure maybe of being the big name in the team that is expected to deliver the knockout blow.
Well, I know that his old man is watching. He sent the message through. G'day, Lowy. Every father we've ever spoken to, from Ockie to Bugs, you name it, if they've got sons competing and following in the footsteps, carving out their own path, there's nothing worse. You think it's nerve-wracking watching, or when you had to surf heats? Spare a thought for the parents who are just chewing their nails down to the elbows.
Yeah. I was watching just Josh Kerr watching Sierra, watching his daughter surf too over there in the Philippines, and he's aged a lot since Sierra started competing in those big events. He always looked like the eternal Grom, and just looking pretty withdrawn and a little bashed up mentally. Old Kersey. Still,
how are the feathers? Are the feathers all right, or are they starting to fall out?
Yeah, when a sulphur-crested cockatoo starts to show its age.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kersey's yellow feathers are starting to fall out a little bit. But still surfing great. Yeah, I'll give him that. All right, we're just at 12 and a half minutes remaining in this second heat of the morning, the Froggies round, elimination round in Coffs Harbour and Sandon Point, trying to maintain pace with Kawana Boardriders and North Shore. We're going to take a quick break. welcome back to the show. Great to have your company on what will be finals day at the 5th Usher Cup, the World Club Challenge. The swell has finally arrived, and the big numbers are starting to drop. We've got Coffs surfer Jake Sharp up at the moment, trying to ramp things up for his club. And let's see what he can do. One of the most exciting surfers in the draw. It's a great lineup for the Coffs Club too. Lee Winkler, we've yet to see him hit the lineup just yet. Looking forward to that as Jake brings this one through to the inside, working it over nicely. So while the swell is filled in, we've also got quite a bit of south in the direction. We see some of these waves pushing off the bank. So when you get that steep hunk of wall, you really got to rip into it. And some surfers have done it better than others so far. Jake's going to take this one right on through to the inside. So Jake was the third surfer for the Coffs Harbour Club, and they're tracking pretty nicely at the moment. Reasonable scores locked in for Carly White, 5.5, an impressive 6.33 for Creed Smart. And this should be a pretty decent addition to the tally as well for Jake. 5.03 for this one, and that is going to now set Lee Winkler onto this lineup, the former CT surfer. But it's North Shore out in front, and out in front by a pretty strong margin here. Alistair Reginato, an impressive 7.17 for him, 6.83 for Sophie McCulloch, Noah Andrew, a 4.23. And Jack Reginato is out there now, but Vorno, Jake Sharp, he's just put up a decent score for Coffs, but they are still trailing at the moment. That's mainly thanks to that big 8-point ride from Zeb Stokes for Kiwana Boardriders. They're just holding off the Coffs team at the moment. Coffs with a little more work to do.
It's heavy because you're out if you don't get through the first or second in these Froggies heats.
Well, if you're in
done.
the Froggies heat, it's your second stumble of the event.
Yeah.
And, one second chance is enough. Three's a bit of a stretch. So, you're done. But no, we're going to lose some good clubs in this round because there was a couple of upsets in the early stages of the event. So some big name clubs ended up in the Froggies draw.
Who are the biggest?
Well, Snapper Rocks.
No, who's out? Who's out?
Oh, look.
Do we know?
Yeah.
We do, don't we? It's been 4 days.
We definitely know.
Yeah.
Look, the Karamanali, Kira, two big local clubs falling out of the mix. We said goodbye to Noosa. They're generally a really strong club. Coolum. Yeah. They're probably the most successful clubs that we saw fall out of the mix. But then this morning we've already lost NASA, who put together a great team, and they lost by, a tenth of a point, not even. So that's going to be a heartbreaker for them.
It's a bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah. But they'll take it. They'll swallow that pill. And,
well, they have to.
And bounce back. And bounce back for now. But yeah, this is getting down to the business end of the heat. 8 minutes to go. Pressure's on Coffs. You can see Sandon's got work to do. No one in the Sandon team's put up a score of note just yet. But they've got the talent. But time is the enemy for them.
Well, Coffs have got Lee Winkler into the lineup. So great scenes here. And Wink, he's just such a linchpin in that surf community. Has been for so long. I think back to, when I first saw Wink becoming a superstar. It was in the Bosco photos of those sort of mid to late 90s. Just at some secret spots around the.
Don't even say it.
No, I won't even say it.
Don't even say it, mate. People know, they'll go through the archives. But
But how many just big swoop and hacks and barrel shots did you see of Wink back in the day? Glorious little collab, wasn't it?
Yeah, he and Gainey often there to capture the vision. Wink had a lot of sections in Gainey's movies, the Pulse movies, and great nickname too, the Ewok. Suited him.
Here's a big set out the back for North Shore. That one's
Jack Reggie.
That one's no good.
Garbage. So Jack Reginato's going to head back out there because he can really Solidify North Shore's position at the top of the table here with a strong performance. Picks one off down the line. Opts to not try and run up the
Sandon
the
Point,
escalator.
that looked like a wave too.
Yeah, Sandon's having a bit of a shocker out here this morning. Didn't expect that. Not in a right-hand point break. So we'll see if they can somehow pull something out of the magic out of the bag in the final minutes here. But Jack Reginato, he's taken this one right through to the inside. Nice little hit on that final section. Throws the hands up. Why not? He's going to release someone else on the lineup. Likely Noah Andrew, who had a 4.23. So maybe Noah will be the one to get back out there and try and improve on his score. But, yeah, Sandon with that 4-1-0 is right up against it now.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
They're going to send Sammy Lowe back out there for sure.
They must.
Oh, we missed that, but that was...
Yeah. Oh, you've been here for some of the all-time great frustration moments as, the style is unmistakable. This is Lee Winkler. Oh, there it is, that swooping style. One of the all-time great rail surfers. Did some time on the CT. And there it is. Wink will release. And that means Cops will have another surfer heading out there.
Wink.
Yeah.
Just has time to talk to some of the recreational surfers out there. That was Wazza. Craig Wazza.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, a couple of the great voices in surfing. Wink. Not bad.
Love it. But, yeah, Wink just, obviously has a lot more that he can do with that canvas format, but just playing it smart at the moment. Probably recognising that he didn't need a whole lot. Just got the work done that he needed to get the Coffs team from third up into fourth, and that's been achieved. 4.8 for Wink.
And just keeping an eye on the clock. Those 3 points are going to be crucial.
Yeah.
As Kawana, that's from behind the section.
Yeah, this is a big moment here for Dane Berg because he's hanging on to a 2.37. We've got about 4 minutes remaining here, and Kawana don't really need a lot to get ahead of Coffs. They only need a low score, a 1.4, because they've scored really well through their first three riders.
So does that mean Dane's 2.37 hasn't been added to the score yet?
No, that's there. That's there. That's the best.
Oh, there it is. That's the emotion. That is the frustration. Like, it's one thing when you feel like you're just not in sync. It's another thing when, the whole team is starting to rely on you, or it's getting late into the time. You want to go out there. The dream is to just smash it.
Oh, well.
Sometimes you just can't find those waves.
Pearl Peters for Sandon Point has sort of been their performer. So, I don't think there'll be a lot of, knocking anyone's performance from the competitors.
Oh, no, not. It's just like as the screw starts to turn, you just get it in your head. You're like, okay, we're still in here. Like, if we just need a good way to turn it around. It's not so much anyone's fault. It's just that in your own head.
You're trying to blame a couple of people, boy.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Not a team player.
Yeah, look, all right. So should we name names? Nah, look, it's just so frustrating. You just want to do it for the community, man. Everyone's online watching. Sandon is a proud surfing town or wave. And then, epic sessions have gone down over the years. They had that amazing event there, the Konica, the Skins event. It was the birth of one of the great surfing performances of all time with Occy. But I remember a young Mick Fanning taking it out. I think he was like 17 or something.
Yeah,
went ballistic out there, and the Sandon Point Club, they know that they can really put themselves on the map by doing well in this event. So it's super frustrating. That's what the explosion of that frustration was.
Yeah, and we've seen it. The same thing happen to other established clubs or hyped clubs in the event already. You can get on the wrong side of the rhythm, and that's happened for the Sandon Point so far. Jake Sharp.
He's just pulled the trigger here. He wants those 3 points.
Yeah. Well, they're just looking to lock up their spot on the snapper side of the draw. Oh, sorry, in the next round of the Froggies, of course, this is the repechage side of the draw. So if you progress through this one, you're still in that Froggies round. You've still got a lot more surfing to do to maintain your run in this event. But Jake Sharp playing it smart. He was looking to improve on a 5.03. So, I think in any situation, if you can just add some extras, even if it's less than a point, there's any increments you can pile onto your points tally.
Yeah,
you'll take them.
Well, as you mentioned, NASA getting done by a 1/10 of a point. That's hectic.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot in it, but this is the danger man for the Coffs Club, Dane Bird, only hanging on to a 2.37, but he's got a wave that's got little to no wall on it, and he is. Even though he's not chasing a lot, I don't know if that's going to be enough for him. He's still got to get to the beach, 40 seconds to go. Did Jake add to his team score with that last ride?
And this is Sandon Point.
Yeah, Ed Hamady.
He's a great surfer. We've seen him surfing in teams events on the junior series, and he's just really just trying to make something happen here for the club.
I think it might be out of reach for them. They're comboed at the moment, so even though Ed's ripping this wave down the line, I don't think it's going to factor in for the Sandon Point team, but we are keeping an eye on what's dropping for the Coffs and Kawana Boardriders Club. Jake Sharp didn't improve on that 5.03, so Dane Bird, he doesn't need a whole lot from that last wave, but that score I think has come in. He didn't improve on his number. He got a 2.3, and even though I think they got themselves back to the beach, I think Coffs going to maybe hold them off here, getting those bonus 3 points as well.
That is huge. I mean, you would think when you open up your whole account with an 8-point ride and back it with a 5 and then a 4, you'd honestly think you're getting through. So this has been a real arm wrestle this heat.
Especially for second place.
For second place, that's right. Unfortunately for Sandon, just a bit of a luckless, out of rhythm heat. They've been putting in some good performances throughout the World Club Challenge. They'll be back. They'll be stronger. Shout out to all the crew down around the gong. Such a great surfing area. So many good surfers from down there. Ooh, I remember back in the day, mate. Oh, go on. Want me to drop a couple? Well, from my era, Jake Spooner.
Oh, the Spoon Man.
Chad Ryan.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lowy, of course. Off the cap to the great South Coast.
Gerard Orchard.
Yes. Oh, take me back.
Yep. Yeah, okay, so that heat is in the bag. It was North Shore getting the victory on the broad shoulders of Alistair Reginato and Sophie McCulloch, and backed up nicely by Noah Andrew and Jack Reginato. Coffs held on for second and kept Kawana Boardriders at bay to stay alive in this froggy side of the draw. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to have a change-up in the booth. We're going to bring in local legends, Rocky Rawlings and Mark Ockalupo.
Rocky and Ocky.
Bring it on.
Hey mate, it's Ryan. Give me a ring when you get this. The travel agent keeps calling me. We need to finalise the deposit for the boat trip today. I just really need to know if you're coming or not. Give me a call.
In 100 meters, keep left. Head north on M. One motorway for 302 kilometers. Estimated time of arrival, 3:08 p.m. Starting route to destination.
Welcome back. Well, this is what we were waiting for. I'm Glenn Rocky Rawlings once again. Got my host, and Mark Occhilupo, you've been already out there this morning, mate.
I have, yes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to finals day. I had an early surf. I had to do it. I jumped off the rock 3 times and got 1 scoreable wave. I mean, it's probably, a 5 or a 6, but it's what I'm trying to say is it's tough. And I really want to tell all the clubs, if they can listen, the tide is coming in, quite a big high tide today. Be super careful jumping off that rock. I heard you announced it on the beach commentary.
Yep, that's right.
You got to look out for those double ups, guys. And when you're jumping off the rock at high tide, you will get cheese graded. And
we've both done
those
that.
Rocks are sharp.
Oh, yeah.
All my sons have. It's happened. It's actually, I've had some injuries. Yeah, I haven't been bowled backwards. I shouldn't even say that. It'll happen this afternoon.
Touch wood.
Over all these years, but I have actually even been when I've had it paddled out the keyhole when it's huge. I've ended up on the other rock.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no.
Yeah, when it's really high tide and really big, you can't even jump off the rock, and even being in that keyhole is super dangerous. And it'll be similar today. I mean, it's not super big today, but it's in the 4 to 5 foot range maybe. Some barrels behind the rock. It's exciting, Glenn. So just all the clubs be super careful jumping off there.
No, you're
tide
right.
coming in.
Yeah, that's right. It's we've had the kick and swell. We were expecting it. We were talking about it all the last couple of days, and mate, you got to have faith in me. I was always saying it's coming.
I know it came, and that wind when we were commentating last night, that wind finally came through. It was howling. It blew over some trees here in the